Welcome to another video, the same every time. IGCSE Maths and GCSE Maths, looking at the kind of questions that, apart from the numbers, are the same every time. We're in the second set of videos about right-angled triangles and using trigonometry in right-angled triangles. In the first video, we looked at how to use trigonometry to find a missing angle. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to find a missing side. So here we are with an exam question worth 3 marks this time. So the diagram shows a right-angled triangle. Show that the value of x is 15.8 correct to 3 significant figures. Well, there's quite a lot going on in this question, and it is a show that question, so they are telling us the answer, but we have to kind of pretend that we don't know it. We know it's a trigonometry question because there's a missing side and they are giving us the angle. So that makes us think it's trigonometry rather than Pythagoras' theorem. Our first move is to label the sides. Well, the side opposite the right angle, the longest side, the H side, I'm not going to label because in this question we don't need it. They're not asking us to find it and they don't tell us what it is. What I do need, however, is this, the adjacent side. That's the side that has the right angle and the 48 degrees angle. That's the adjacent. And then the other side, the 17.5, is opposite the angle, the other angle. So that's the opposite side. And then we have to decide, are we using sine, cosine, or tan? So a lot of people remember this by the SO, CA, TOA. And what sides have we got here? O and A. So O and A means that we are dealing with tan. We're dealing with tan. Right, so O divided by A. O divided by A. So 17.5 is my O. Divided by A, which I don't know, so we're calling it X in the question here, equals tan, so O divided by A is tan, but it has to be tan of the angle. So the angle is 48 degrees. Tan 48 degrees is just some number, a not very nice decimal. Now we have to find the value of x here, remembering that this is a show that question, so we are going to have to be writing down every stage of our working out. So what would I have to do here? I'm dividing by x on that side, so I can multiply up by x on the other side. 17.5 equals x multiplied by tan 48 degrees. Remembering that tan 48 degrees is just some number. It's just a not very nice decimal number. Okay, so if I write that the other way around, x tan 48 degrees equals 17.5. Then I can make x the subject. X equals 17.5 divided by tan 48 degrees. So calculate a job for this one. 17.5 divide by tan, not inverse tan this time, just tan 48. And I've got 15.7570 and so on. Try it on your calculator, make sure you get the same thing. Now, it's a show that question, so we do need to be showing all our working out. And they say the value of x is 15.8, correct to 3 significant figures. Now, in this kind of question, when they are asking you to do a show that to a certain level of accuracy, significant figures or decimal places, we must, in order to get the full marks, write down our full calculator answer. We cannot just write down the rounded version. They won't like that. They won't give us the full marks. So I'm going to write down the full calculator answer. In this kind of question, I must do that. So 15.757070 and then it's 78 at the end. And my final line in my answer, my show that, is to round this to 3 significant figures. So 15.8 and brackets 3 significant figures. So again, I can't emphasize that enough. On the mark scheme for this question, they will be insisting that you write down the full calculator answer, even though on your calculator you've got the full answer and you can see that it rounds to 15.8 to 3 significant figures. They do expect you in this question to write that down. If you're not sure about the rounding to 3 significant figures, then I have done a set of videos about rounding. Please go ahead and have a look at those after you finish with this video. Here's part of another question. ABC is a right angle triangle. Calculate BC. So ABC, if it's a single letter, then that means it's one of the corners. So A is one of the corners, the vertices, the vertex. B and C are the other two corners. And there's the triangle in the picture. Calculate BC. If they write two letters together, that means the length of the side from B to C. Now, in this case, because there's no angle involved apart from the right angle, this must be a Pythagoras theorem question. If they're giving us two sides and they want us to find the other side, it's a Pythagoras theorem question. So ask yourself, are we finding the longest side or one of the shorter sides? Well, the longest side is the side opposite the right angle, which in this case is 9.1 centimeters. So we're not finding that because we already know that. So B to C is one of the shorter sides. So to find a shorter side, it's going to be square, square, subtract, square root for one of the shorter sides. If you are not sure about using Pythagoras theorem, then have a look at the videos that I've put up there about Pythagoras theorem. So 9.1 squared minus 3.5 squared inside a square root sign, and that gives me a fraction first of all, SD button, that will give me 8.4. I'll write it in the answer section just there, 8.4 centimeters. So I put that question in there just so that you can realize the difference between a trigonometry question and a Pythagoras theorem question. Generally speaking, if they're asking us to find an angle or they're giving us an angle in the question, it's trigonometry. If it's two sides and they want us to find the other side, it is Pythagoras. Have a go at this question. Pause the video, follow exactly the same method that I showed you in the first question. See if you can find the length of the side from E to F. While you're doing that, I will do it myself. So let's label the sides. The 8.4 is the longest side, the side opposite the right angle. So I'm labeling that H. Now they actually want us to find the side E to F, so I have to label that side as well. That's the adjacent, isn't it? It's got the right angle and the other angle on there. That one's the adjacent. And the other side, the D to E side, the DE, is opposite the 35 degrees. That's the O side. But I'm not going to label that because they don't tell us what it is and they are not asking us to find it. So at the moment, we are not going to need to use it in this question. So remembering our SOHCAHTOA, we have to decide whether we are using sine, cosine, or tan. So the two sides we are interested in are A and H. So A and H means that we are dealing with cosine. So A divided by H. Remember in your SOHCAHTOA, it's divide by. So A, H for cosine, A divided by H. So A we don't know, so we'll just call it A. Divided by H, which is 8.4, equals cosine, and it's cosine of the angle, which in this case is 35 degrees. Cosine of the angle is just some number. Okay, so A equals, I'm dividing by 8.4 on that side, so multiply by 8.4 on the other side there. So 8.4 times cosine 35 degrees. Type it into your calculator exactly as that looks and see if you get the same answer as me. I've got this, I've got 6.88. I'll write down my full calculator. Answer 0.877.172. So there's my full calculator answer for this one. And then I'm going to give my final answer to a sensible degree of accuracy, always looking back into the question just to check to see if they've asked for a particular level of accuracy in the final answer. I'm going to go with 3 significant figures for this one. That's what it says on the front of a Cambridge exam anyway. Non-exact answers rounded to 3 significant figures. But I always tend to write down my full calculator answer anyway, just so I can show the examiner that I've got it right, even if I go wrong with my rounding. Thank you very much for watching. I hope the video was useful to you. I will be back in the next one.